So, what Christians need to realize is that King James read the scriptures, the Dead Sea Scrolls, and recognized that he was not on the winning team. And he recognized that he would not be able to put his desires and his mental issues aside. And he decided to sabotage all people of faith. And so you have multiple religions in America that utilize the King James Version. It's the one I grew up on. And so in this, things have been spun backwards, as well as he was under parasitic delusions. And so the scribes, knowing different things, like they couldn't go against the king, so they had creative ways of trying to get the message through to people that had specific mindsets. And so this is why you have a specific set of people that completely they have a complete different take on what's being given from the Bible than other people. And so this is where you're separated by whether you're materialistic, whether you have a God complex, whether you're a narcissist. It actually weeds these people out. And so these are the people that end up in church pews, tithing their 10% of their income and falling for the scheme that was set into place way back when King James altered scripture and printed it into a book. And so if these scribes that helped put the King James Version together, if they went against the king, they got beheaded or worse. And so he had full control of manipulating the scriptures. They had no choice but to comply. But this is why some things are actually backwards. Some things go against logic so that you will use logic to decode what is actually what the scribe was actually trying to get through, the secret messaging system that they had designed to work around King James, King of England. Let me remind you where this came from. UK, Vatican, Roman Catholicism, Christianity, it all comes from one place. There was an agenda put into play. Prince of Persia. How many presidents are related to the Prince of Persia? What? All of them? Okay, they're all included in this agenda against citizens. And, there's a lot of things at play. And so parasites, the T. Gandhi that's in our system, absolutely plays into this. And the book of Enoch, as well as other books of the Bible, actually tells you how to offload these parasites, because you cannot do it without Enochian rituals and symbols, sigils. Like the symbols and sigils are the same thing, same thing. And so you actually have certain children in special ed that are actually that is the new psyops. They put your child in special ed so that they can separate them from the classroom and continue to monitor them and do whatever experiments they want to continue doing. And so the whole structure of education is backwards by design to keep this system alive and going. And what the science does is it keeps the rich getting fatter. Look at celebrities. Their T. Gandhi has already taken hold of their system. When you see them looking gaunt and reptilian-like, that's the parasite taking hold of their system and fusing with them. Their soul is potentially buried in there somewhere, but you can't unbury it without doing an unburdening of childhood traumas, as well as past life traumas. Past life traumas absolutely play into this. And the reason why they don't want people believing in reincarnation is because it keeps you from uncovering this information and the science behind it. And so the body will not regenerate, so the soul has to come back again and relive things. Only a greater scheme of things knows what's at play. And so humans get further and further and further away from the truth. And so it's my goal to bring people closer to the truth while unburdening them, while helping them do a detox. Why just do one thing at a time? And so I'm still working on creating my program that people can follow. It's going to take me a while to put this together because there is a whole lot of information in there, and the information is currently being blocked. I have to wait until other people do an information release before my science makes sense. And if other people are going to live in denial about the science, then my science is obsolete and only works for me. As well as the elites that have been utilizing this information. This is why they have the presidency rituals, the trends, they have all sorts of things in play. The holidays. Do you realize that the holidays are set up to keep you moving your feet or sitting in your seat when they need you to do these things? And so that Sunday morning service, Sunday mornings, if Jesus was in charge, we would not be spending that in a church pew, right? We would be out amongst the people talking and congregating, not sitting as a VIP club. And so that's essentially what Christianity has been turned into, is a VIP club of people that somehow feel entitled to judge other people and feel entitled to treating other people like crap because somehow donning this faith has made them elite in their own mindset. And this is where the elite like to keep that cycle going. And so this is what it means when it says, do not take the Lord's name in vain. Do not become a Christian because of the vanity that is being sold to you. The consumerism of Christianity and religion is a problem, and the Vatican knows it. So, all secrets come out. Between now and 2028, absolutely everything changes. And the ones that are afraid of it need you to be afraid of it. Why? Because their whole system of things goes down. You're afraid of that because that means you have to face the unknown. This is where people have been taught to stick with the devil they know instead of experiencing the unknown. And the devil you know has kept you in purgatory, in a hell cycle. And it's an energy. People think that hell is a physical place. We're in hell already. But it's the energy that we're held in. And so all sorts of lies have to be, truth has to come out in order for people to start unburdening themselves. I'm about 5 to 10 years ahead of the crowd. And if I try to rush things, it can fracture the mind. And so this is why I have to leave that part up to other people. But what people need to realize is a lot of the parasite science absolutely plays into things, which is why the MK Ultra and all these different operations were put into play. It plays along with the parasite science. CDC is aware of this. World Health Organization is aware of this. And for some reason, America has been singled out. But that's because we are the most parasitic country on the planet. And so by basically influencing other countries, we have encouraged this behavior and parasitism in other countries. And so, yes, other world leaders absolutely want to shut us down, and it's valid, because this, like, we are what's going to make the planet cave in on itself if we don't reel it in and learn some self-control, learn how to tell ourselves no. And so we are, America is a spoiled, rotten brat of a country. And it shows by our leadership going out there and publicly acting like little children, spoiled little children that demand to get their way. And so this is going to change, absolutely. Within the next 2 years, everything changes, because it has to. There's a lot of us that are giving it no choice. We demand change. We deserve change. And we will not honor anything other but change, because there is no honor in the way America is being ran and the way the citizens and leadership are behaving. And so narcissism and covert narcissism, we are forced to be either a covert narcissist or a full-blown narcissist in order to survive in the country that we live in. And it's for a reason. There is a reason why America is been called out on the carpet right now. And it's our leaders that have led us down the path of destruction. You want to follow like sheep being led to slaughter? Go ahead. This is why they've tried to recruit the 144,000 out of people that are willing to martyr themselves, because they need that number to be sacrificed for the cycle to continue. And there's some of us that are jumping off that train. I am the non-144,000. I'm here to warn the 144,000. Someone has led you down a path of demise. And there's people that have had to jump off of the spiritual awakening journey because they saw the truth in that. I stayed on it because I believe there is some truth to it. However, I believe the truth will not be allowed to be told until we reach a certain point. And offloading the parasitic entities that are plaguing us. The parasites in our system, they're not natural. They are made of crystalline fibers. And so that tells me they were man-made, or not made by nature. And so people need to realize where we're at in this. And there has to be a complete undoing before we can rebuild. Rebuilding is happening in the technology world, in the 11D, the dimensions that people cannot see. The rebuilding is happening there, but it cannot happen in 3D until more humans have gotten on board with understanding things and doing a turnaround, doing things differently. Doesn't matter what you like, just do things differently. Make it your own, alter that. Whatever celebrities are doing, stop copying that, because what they're trying to do is to get people to fuse with the T. Gandhi in their system. And so that is going to lead people to a slow and horrible death, as well as a soul death, which is exactly what they want. This is the sacrifice that they were planning to make until one of us, or a group of us, spotted this. And so if you're on the spiritual awakening journey, I'm not suggesting that you jump off of that, but I do suggest that you wise up to the romancing. Romance is actually it's short form for necromance. And so by spinning the whole romance story on people and getting you romanticizing about things, what that does is it spins a spell in your mind. And then you can't see the truth until the truth bites you in the ass. And so people need to realize this. Parasite detox. You have to get away from sugars and foods that create sugars in your system in order to offload parasites. If you are choosing to dismiss things, choosing to be blind to things, choosing to dismiss your own behaviors, then you're doomed from the get-go. You have to be in a mind frame of acknowledging these things. Even like we're taught to be overly accepting for a reason, and that's so that we can fall for the trap. They want us to accept things for a reason. And so stop accepting lies, stop accepting the crap. And so I've had Christians come up against me, and I'm like, you don't realize you've been led down a path like the rest of the sheep in your church. And I don't mean this as trying to defame, demean. I'm not meaning it as that. This is a warning to the people. Like, I grew up I was a Sunday school teacher at age 11. You think I don't know? You think I didn't see? When I went through the spiritual awakening journey and the parasite detox, I absolutely saw the lies that have been put into religion on purpose. That's to keep you paying into the system of things. Because if you buy that, then you'll buy the other crap. I'm not saying certain parts are not real, but what I am saying is the truth has been altered for a reason, and that's to get you in the exact situation and position that you are in, that we are in as Americans. It was part of the agenda. Sacrifices have to be made every 1,000 years so that the golden era can continue for a certain set of people on the planet, and they have lost their humanity, and you can see that by the way their looks are depreciating. They have lost their humanity, they have lost touch with their soul, and they are being swallowed up by the parasites in their system. Things have gone sideways for somebody, and it's not the people, like the people that have stayed true to their soul and true to the journey will see it. And maybe others are not meant to. And so if you want to continue to cling to religion, I'm not trying to knock it. Maybe I am. I'm a licensed minister, I'm a priestess, and I'm educated. And so if you are clinging to the rhymes without reason, then I'm like, nobody can stop you. You're free to cling to that. But understand that the rhymes are basically the same as witchcraft and spell work to keep your brain in an illusion. And it's working. Otherwise, there would be no awakening process. Do you see? And so in becoming aware, like, take your time. Go over information. Do your own digging. I am here to put people on a trail. I'm not here to do the homework for you. And so this is what people need to understand. I am in the process of decluttering my home and doing a full life makeover. And I was writing a plan for other people to follow. And then I found out that everything I'm doing essentially counteracts the rituals that the Illuminati and the Masonites have been doing. And the shadow government has been supporting them in offloading or deleting people like me. And so people like me counteract those rituals, and then the magic that they're spinning no longer works. Magic is real. Choose to believe it or not. But I had to decide if magic was going to be used against me, then I had no choice but to pick it up to defend myself. If someone is stabbing you with a sword, are you going to use a flower to fend them off? No, you are required to pick up a weapon of some sort to defend yourself. And so that is what I did. And so in doing this, I've been able to counteract the rituals that they've been doing on a planetary scale. And this is changing the weather. This plays into the alchemy of things. And if you don't know magic, you don't know alchemy, you don't know the history of this stuff, if you are out of the loop of knowledge of science, as well as this other information, then there's no explaining it to you. You don't have the knowledge baseline to even explain it. And so this is where, like, I am limited on the information that I can give to people. Because what I don't want is the Illuminati and the shadow government coming after other people. They know that they cannot defeat me. I've gone too far. There's other people out there that are able to share information. They've also gone too far. They cannot be defeated. I'm not the only one. But people need to understand some very real things are happening, and you've been told that it was mythology and movie stunts to keep you blind so that you don't see what's coming, and it's too late before that train hits you. FEMA has plastic boxes big enough to fit 20 bodies per box all along the railway in America, because a full-on American Holocaust has been planned for us since before 2010. So understand this. Understand the level at which things are at so that you can start rowing the other way. Whatever way you choose to do that. Just start rowing the other direction. The shoreline does not always mean safety if the enemy is on the shoreline. Understand that we've been infiltrated, and it's time to uninfiltrate ourselves. And the only way to do that is through a parasite detox, because people will never see or have the energy to do what they need to do to survive this if they don't offload the parasites. The fastest way to starve a country is to give them all parasites, give them inadequate food and nutrition, and then cut them off from everything. And that's what's about to happen. I hope you're ready.